What's going on, guys? Atsu here, and today I will be alongside my beautiful Twitch chat at www.twitch.tv/AsianGuyStream, be answering all of your die-hard questions, one of them being, what is my real age? And I know everybody wants to know the mystery behind Asian Guy Stream or Atsu's real age. Now, we have a ton of questions sent in from people on YouTube, from Twitter, from Instagram, and also from Twitch, as you can see down here, www.twitch.tv/AsianGuyStream. I'm obviously not as old as Zhongli, but we have a lot of questions. I've taken down 22 questions. We might do more than 22 questions. It depends how long the video is going to be. But yes, these are all questions sent in by you guys. And before we dive into the questions and we take on all the weekly bosses, it's going to be some sort of scuffed Genshin Monday. I just wanted to say a huge shout out to Razor Gold and Razor Silver Rewards, who are official partners of Genshin Impact. Razor Gold have just had a huge update on their website where you can now directly buy Genesis crystals or the Welcome Moon simply with your UID as well as your regional server, which means that you can now buy for yourself or gift to someone else Genesis crystals or the Welcome Moon easier than ever before, which is personally amazing because it makes doing the secret Razor Gold sponsored giveaways on our Twitch channel so much easier to do. And as you can see, I'm using my UID there, and you can also see my username, which of course is censored, but it's currently Spy Family. You guys should definitely watch that anime. The best thing about this update right now is that not only do you get a 6% rebate on Razor Gold purchases with Genshin Impact till the 21st of June, but you can also use code Atsu for your first purchase with this new update. As you can see here, I treated myself to the $100 pack using 100 Razor Gold. It's a 1-to-1 conversion, and I got 16 Razor Gold back, which is worth $16 whole, which, as you can imagine, is going to go straight back into Genshin. If you've ever wanted to stock up on Genesis crystals and get more for your money, now is the time to do so. A massive thank you to Razor Gold for sponsoring today's video. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. All right, welcome back, guys. Let's get started with the video. So, we're going to take on Raiden Shogun first. As you can see, we are joined by the baboons, bonobos, bozos, snakes, and the scammers down below. And I'm going to be trying to play Genshin while also looking at the questions on the side of my screen. So, hopefully, this is not going to be too scuffed. Now, I'm not very confident in doing this, and I have definitely yoinked this series from Anthony Chen, which is why we've used the hashtag AskWalmartAnthony. And I want to make it very clear, guys, that while Ant pulls for characters because he dies all the time, I don't die, so there will be no pulling. I have a Zhongli here, and there is absolutely no way that I'm going to die. So the first question is from Kokoko, aka Han, and Han asks, would you rather sell your Genshin account for the same amount of money you spent on it, or spend an equivalent amount of money on someone else's account? I would rather spend a significant or equivalent amount of money on someone else's account, and the reason why is because not only have I invested a lot of time, a lot of money into this account, I've invested a lot of time into this account, and time is also money. So essentially, in terms of net value, hello? Please don't go into freaking demon mode. In terms of net value and time spent, it would be wiser for me to spend it on someone else's account. Okay, nice. She didn't go into demon god mode. We've got the hardest part out of the way. So I would spend around $20,000 on someone else's account. Also, all the artifacts I have, all the weapons and all the EXP and everything I farmed up, mainly the artifacts, no amount of money will be able to get me back the same artifacts I have today, and also the drops. Well, we got three, guys. Triple drop, very nice. That is absolute garbage, but you know what? I'll take the triple drop. Good start. Wow, one whole boss fight, I could only answer one question. If given the chance, would I go to the Philippines? Filipino, by the way, asked Andre Christoph 8. I answered this earlier in the stream, but yes, ideally next year, I would like to go to the Philippines. And I know they're currently doing a convention in the Philippines called Conquest in July, late July. And I heard about this through Christian Banas, who is the voice actor for Toma, who will be there this year. I will not be there this year. But however, Conquest, if you're watching, okay, Genshin is massive in the Philippines. I have the second largest demographic on my channel is the Philippines. So, if you want to sell some tickets and you want to bring over some Genshin hype, hit myself and other Genshin content creators up. We would love to be there at Conquest. So, you know, Conquest, if anyone from Conquest is watching, hit me up. Hit me up. Question number 3. Any tips for new streamers such as myself from Dazai_lover, who is also one of the moderators in my stream, one of the homies, Jihi Senpai. And any tips for new streamers such as myself? One is always talk. Always talk. Even if we have no one in the chat, if we have no one talking back to you, always talk. And the reason why I say this is because if someone comes into your stream, because there are a lot of people who will just hop from stream to stream, and a lot of people want to look for smaller streamers as well. I'm someone that likes to explore in the Genshin category, which is why I end up finding a lot of really cool people. If you go into someone's stream and they're just silent and they're just looking at the screen playing the game and they're not saying anything, people have very short attention spans. You want to be able to capture their attention immediately. You want to be interactive immediately. And if you're silent, people will not give you the time of day for you to show you the best side of yourself. So if someone comes into your stream and you're literally just not saying anything, they're going to get bored very, very quickly and they're going to leave. So always talk, even if there's no one in your stream. Always talk, always have commentary. It can be third person, it can be first person. Just try and get your personality out there some way, somehow. Now, this doesn't apply to everything. Obviously, if you're doing something like art or something that requires a lot of attention and you're doing something engaging on the stream, that's also okay. But if you want to go for the casual style, always make sure you're talking. And when someone comes into your stream, of course, be kind to them. Be nice to them because they are giving you their time of day. And time, there's really not that many things that is more valuable than time. So if someone gives you their time of day, make sure to give back your time of day as a content creator, especially when you're starting off. Those people are the people that are going to make or break your stream, and they're going to be the foundations, right? So if it wasn't for the first people who come to your stream in the first place, then it's without those people, it's really hard to build up a community. Question number 4 from @yell_low, so yellow. Have I watched Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie? Yes, I did watch the JJK Zero movie. Funimation were very, very cool and kind enough to invite me to the UK premiere, which is super awesome. So a massive shout out to you guys as well for allowing me to be in such a privileged position where I get to go and do cool anime stuff. I also recently got to do a watch party of Spy Family on Twitch, world premiere of the English dub through Crunchyroll as well, which is super, super cool. And as unlucky H-Daha. And that was super cool. So yes, I did enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. I would give it probably an 8.5 out of 10. So I would say JJK. If JJK came out at a time where Demon Slayer did not exist, I think it would have been even bigger. Because the animation quality in JJK is like 10 out of 10. And obviously it's in 10 out of 10 in Demon Slayer as well. But because they coexist, people keep fighting over which one is better. So I think if it came out at a time, and this is the same with Demon Slayer as well. If Demon Slayer existed at a time where there was no JJK as well, I think Demon Slayer would have been bigger. So I feel like they're both taking away from each other. However, we live in the world where we can appreciate both things at the same time, and I appreciate them both as extremely good series, or very good animated series, and I really enjoy the animation and fight scenes. Question number 5 from Luke Nam 95. Am I going to London Comic Con? Yes, I will be there on Friday and maybe Sunday. However, I am going to be busy on the Saturday, so I will not be there on Saturday. I will be there on Friday and also Sunday, and I will be there with Maples and also Nekopi, as well as maybe a couple of other people, but I will be there with Maples, who is a Genshin Impact content creator as well. So look forward to that. If you do see us there, feel free to say hello or ask for a photo as well. Damn, I have 22 questions. I'm on question number 6 From what you're willing to disclose, what is some of the content you're planning to do or games you want to play on your Twitch or YouTube this year? Your humor translates well into a variety of content. I'm excited to see what you will do in the future. From Swolane Art. Thank you very much for the question, and thank you very much for the compliments as well. I want to play Elden Ring, and I want to play Omori. I want to play both of these games. I don't know if I will upload these videos to YouTube if I do stream them. However, they are both definitely games I want to play, and I've been wanting to play them for a long, long time. I also wanted to play Tales of... Oh, what was the latest Tales game? I really like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia. Sorry, Tales of Berseria. And I think I also played Tales of Xillia. Tales of Arise. Yes, I wanted to play Tales of Arise as well. So Bandai Namco, you know, hit me up. I know you got my digits. I would like to play your game. But because I'm stingy and I'm Asian, I don't really want to pay for it. So yes, that's other stuff I would like to do. I also have a secret second YouTube channel where I have vlogging on there. I want to do more vlogs, so all of my vlogs will probably go on my secret second channel now, unless it's specifically Genshin related. Question number 7. How was your college experience, and how is it to pursue a different career path from the one you were expected to pursue after getting academic education? Struggling with that myself, so I would really like to know your experience, says Croco Robin. For me, I always knew that I wanted to do content creation. I either wanted to do content creation or I wanted to be a teacher, which is probably going to be bizarre for some people to hear, but that is what I wanted to do for the long... Oh! Yo, we just killed him before he could run away! That's the first time I've ever done that! Yo, we're speeding through this! Anyway, yo, I've never done that before. That's cool. So for me, my college experience... Wow, did we just get 3 Spirit Locket of Boreas? That is so weird. I've never had that before. This is such a weird day. I've never had this before, where I've just got 3 of 1 drop. I'm hacking today. I am hacking today. So, my secondary school experience... In the UK, we call secondary school, like the final year, 6th form, is the equivalent of college. My 6th form experience was great. I love being able to see my friends every single day. Obviously, studying was very, very stinky. University also for me was great. I had a very nice university life. I met amazing people who I can call lifelong friends. Obviously, studying, again, I did not really enjoy studying, but I did pick a subject that I enjoyed, which was going to be human geography. Geography can be divided into human geography and physical geography. Physical geography is stuff like tectonic plates, longshore drift, like mountains. It's closer to geology. Human geography is a study of humans, so it's closer to sociology and psychology and economics and a bit of history as well. So the stuff I studied was, for example, gender studies, racial studies, urbanization, essentially why people behave the way they do. And that was what I studied at my university, and I really enjoyed that. And because it was such a broad field, you know, my expected career path at this point was, you know, I could go into many different things. I could have gone into a financial sector. Obviously, I would have needed a few extra training sessions. I could have gone into teaching, which is what I wanted to do. But ultimately, I always knew I wanted to do content creation. And it was obviously going to be very difficult for my parents to accept that. My parents are very, you know, Orthodox Asian. And they've been very clear about this in the past. It's like, you know, because they migrated to the UK, they don't have many connections. Right, so one thing that a lot of people don't understand at a young age is like, most of the time your career will not be defined by what you studied in university or what you studied in school, but it will be defined by the people you know, your work experience. I would say those two are the most defining factors of where you're going to end up in life. I guess the third most important thing is your confidence in interviews and being able to present yourself. Now, I myself do not have many experiences being interviewed by like work people. I guess within the within the content creation sphere, I have been interviewed with this kind of stuff. But for like an official position, no, because I have always been in the content creation field for a very, very long time. It was obviously very difficult for my parents to accept that because they're like, what are you doing with your life? This is so un-Asian. This is so not doctor of you. This is so not Cambridge, Oxford, top university kind of student of you. Like, this is an unrealistic career path. And, you know, I had to do a lot of my stuff in secret. Luckily, my mother was a little bit more lenient. My father would have never really accepted this kind of stuff. But, you know, they're forced to accept it now because I make money now. And I'm happy. And I think they kind of turned over eventually after they saw how miserable I was trying to, you know, fit in with normal society. So I was lucky in the sense that my parents came through. If you have parents who are unwilling to support you, then it's going to be very difficult. And what you're going to have is a side hustle. Never go into the thing that you're super passionate about without a backup plan. You always need to make sure you have a steady source of income to support yourself. I had a source of income. It wasn't a lot, which is why I used to eat only like bread and salami. And that's the meme with that. Is I only used to eat bread and salami just to save money, essentially. And, you know, I lived like that for a long time, and I was happy. I was okay with that. So I guess you have to humble yourself and... Okay, Senora, get your ass back here. You have to humble yourself and have realistic expectations for many things, in that life is not going to go super smoothly unless you're born into an extremely wealthy family who also understands that you want to do what you want to do, which most people don't. So that's what I would say on that note. But yes, I think uni was a great experience. You meet a lot of people. I obviously met Nekopi. I met the love of my life there. So I would say enjoy university, step out of your comfort zone, go out and meet people, whether it be in like anime clubs, which is what I did, or we called it Anime Society, gaming club, gaming society. I was part of Japan Society. I was Economic Society. I even joined Hindu Society. I also joined ISOC, Islamic Society, because I had a lot of Indian friends and I also had a lot of Muslim friends. So in my first year, I explored a lot of different communities within my university. So I would highly recommend doing the same. Step out of your comfort zone. And I've just realized I'm only on question 8, guys. And we're already, I don't know how far into the video we are now, but I'm on question 8 of 22. So we're going to have to start speeding through this. Which weekly boss have I not done? Tortellini Man. Okay, here we go. Question number 8. What is my real age? Here we go. The biggest question. My real age. I am born on 22nd of November, 1968, which would make me 53 years old, turning 54 years old. If you don't believe me, guys, just Google it. You can literally Google my age and it will tell you on famous birthdays. And to submit your age to famous birthdays, you have to submit identification. So I submitted my ID to famous birthdays, which is why they have verified my age as 53 years old. Now, I appreciate that a lot of people don't believe me, and they're like, damn, you look so much younger than 53. Thank you very much. I'm very, very, you know, self-conscious about my gray hairs. I'm also very, very self-conscious about my wrinkles. Now, you guys can't see my wrinkles because I'm very far away from the camera. And this is a secret trick that a lot of streamers use is, one, you get yourself a low quality camera so you can't see the imperfections, or imperfections. I shouldn't say the imperfections because normal for people. I don't want to, you know, contribute to these stupid beauty standards, but you can't see my wrinkles because I'm small on the screen right now. You can't see all my blackheads on my nose. You can't see my pimples on my face. And lighting and angles change a lot of things. Obviously, my gray hair hasn't come out fully yet, but if you follow me on Instagram at Asian Guy Stream, I have posted recently some of my gray hairs, and I am very conscious about it. So please don't make fun of me. But yes, my real age is 53. 22nd November, 1968. Question number 9. Is London a good place to migrate? I'm currently searching for places I'm going to migrate soon in the next few years, and London has been in my mind since forever now, but I've heard so many bad things about it. London is a very, 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 very big place. It is a very big city. It is very globalized, but the UK in general has also a lot of racists. So it really depends where you are in London, what you're doing in London, whether it's for school or your career. And that changes, really, honestly, it just changes everything. I personally love London, but I've been living in London for a very long part of my life, so I'm very British. You can hear in my accent I'm British. For some reason, some people think I'm Australian, but no, I'm British. I have British humor. I love British satire. I have British sarcasm running through my veins. Whoa, we got triple drop again. Yo, and Dream Solvent. Very nice. So adjusting to the culture might be very, very difficult. As you guys know, I have been cancelled on Twitter probably about 20 times because a lot of people just don't understand sarcasm or satire. Or you can flip it around is, I don't understand that a lot of people don't understand British humor. They don't understand satire. They don't understand sarcasm. And they think that everything I'm saying, I'm being dead serious. So on the flip side, there is a culture shock there. The food in London, there's a lot of nice food places. London is also very expensive, but public transport in London, I think, is very good. Now, when I say that, I'm not comparing it to Asia, because Asian public transport, especially Japan, is on another level. Japan public transport is cracked. You know, like if they're late by over a minute, you get your ticket for free or something like that. I forget how it works. In the UK, you know, there are a lot of strikes, there are a lot of lashback, I would say, to public transport, but being able to get in and out of the city in 15 to 30 minutes like that is really, really convenient. And I say this because I just came back from Los Angeles, and that city is a city of cars, right? That city, you have to drive everywhere, and I think that is an absolute nightmare. I do not like that, and I do not want to live in Los Angeles, even though there's so many people there that I love, but driving everywhere, I think is just so inconvenient. I don't like it. I don't like it. And also the air quality in LA is terrible. Not that it's very good in the UK either. Oh, am I going to make this in time? Yes, we are. So, yes, I think London, it really depends. If you're looking for Asian people or Asian communities in London, and that's both like, you know, the stereotypical Asian, like the ones that look like me, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, etc. That people think Asia is just China, Japan, and Korea, but no. When I say Asian, I mean also West Asian, you know, so like India, Pakistan, etc., etc. The community in London is very diverse, so you will be able to find yourself people like that, and obviously all kind of Western cultures are in London as well. So London, I would say, is pretty good. It's pretty good, but if you don't have anybody here that you know in London, it can get very, very lonely. All right, since this is going to be a very long video and I only made it to question number 9 out of 22, let us go and do some quick artifact runs where we can finally use our boy Ayato. And I will blast through these questions now. I didn't think I would give this long of an answer. So, question number 10. Out of curiosity, which of the remaining nations, Sumeru, Fontaine, Natlan, and Snezhnaya in Genshin, am I most excited to come out, and why? I would say Snezhnaya or Kyenria, because both of these are two massive third parties or other parties involved in the original storyline, and I want to know the lore. I know a lot of people attach me with someone who is not interested in the Genshin story or the lore, but actually I am very, 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 very interested in all of this kind of stuff as well. Wait, who do I normally have in this team? Bennett. Young Benette. So I am very curious about the role of Kaya and Dainsleif and what their relationship to one another is. So Kaya is, yeah, I'm just very, very curious about Kaya. I'm also very curious about the Snezhnayan Queen, the Tsaritsa. So obviously I want to know about that. And also everyone in the Fatui is freaking gorgeous. And I'm a very shallow person when it comes to games and characters. So yeah, Snezhnaya I'm also very, very interested in. Question number 11. How do I cope with burnout as a content creator and as an individual outside of work? Is it much of a difference? I don't deal with burnout very well. when I get burnt out, I think communication is key in a lot of these instances. When I get burnt out, I'm very, very brutally honest, and I just tell people, look guys, I feel absolutely shit. I feel terrible and I'm burnt out. And you know, luckily I would say but rather we have created a very, very wholesome and welcoming and understanding community. So I don't feel too bad when I have to take breaks, because I know most of you guys will still be here when I come back. Obviously, it's not necessarily great to take breaks when it comes to YouTube. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. If you take breaks, you will get punished by the algorithm. So yeah, it is a bit of a stinker, but burnout, like, I have come to the conclusion that I should not sacrifice my happiness and well-being for stability, like financial stability. I'm at a point where I am financially stable, not necessarily financially on track of where I would want to be. I would like to make more money so I can achieve my goals sooner, but I've come to the inner understanding that I want to have more happy times while I'm under the age of 60. You know, once I get past the age of 60, that's when things are going to get really, really difficult, especially with garbage artifacts like this. We have question number 12. Actually, back to question 11. How do I cope with burnout? I go outside, I eat good food. If I'm feeling depressed, I go outside, I go for a run, I go to the gym, something that will take my mind off the bad feelings. And otherwise, I would, if you have friends, rely on your friends. Don't necessarily trauma dump on them, but just for me, being in the presence of my friends and my loved ones and having quality time together makes me feel a lot more refreshed. So that is my way of dealing with burnout, is I try and rely on people that care about me and spend quality time with them. Or I eat a fuck ton of food. Question number 12. What's a food that no one would guess you like? I like peas. Yeah, a lot of people don't think I eat any vegetables other than onion and garlic, and I only eat fried chicken and meat, but I like peas. I like peas, I like apples, I like oranges. I used to eat bananas. I don't eat bananas anymore. I used to eat broccoli. I don't eat broccoli anymore. But yes, I used to like peas. I also really like spaghetti bolognese. What else is another food a lot of people would think I would not like? I don't really like sweet food, so I don't typically like chocolate, but I really like Milky Way. The chocolate Milky Way. And I learned recently that Milky Way in the US and Milky Way in the UK is very different. And UK Milky Way is very nice. So yeah. But yeah, I like peas. Vegetables. I like peas. We have question number 13. What do you wish there was more of in the gaming community space? I wish there were more, and people are going to be like, oh, that's so lame of you. Or be like, oh, you're such a snowflake. I wish there was more people who would stand up for their friends, for their community, for what they believe in, people who would speak their mind. But obviously, if you speak your mind, you're probably going to get cancelled. If you're not part of the popular opinion, you're probably going to get cancelled. I want more people out there who have the balls to stand up and speak for what they believe is right, whether it's right or wrong as seen by society. I think it would be better if there are more people who stood up for what they truly believed in and less sheepish and spoke for themselves. And this ties into my next point, is something I really, really hate seeing in the gaming community. And this, that's not bad. I'm probably going to level that up eventually. Let me lock that. In the gaming circle is misogyny and sexism. I really do not like this, and this is one of the few reasons, this is not a few reasons, it's like one of the core reasons, I was very unsure of whether I wanted to encourage Nekopy to come into the gaming circle, because misogyny, for those of you who don't know what that is basically the hatred or disrespect or not seeing women as equals, is so bad in the gaming community, and it's been really, really, really bad recently as well, especially in FPS communities. And because I come from an FPS and sporting gaming background, which is FIFA and Call of Duty, the misogyny in those communities is super bad. And there's just simply not enough men or boys, because they are not men, who are willing to stand up for their female counterparts. And I think that's so, so, so sad. And most of the root cause of misogyny in gaming is from men. And it's from men perpetuating it from other men to men who are like toxic masculinity, you know? It's like they like calling women bitches, or they like calling them women hoes, etc., etc. And that's so ingrained in their culture, and they're not trying to help unlearn that, right? And I would say it's very obvious which kind of community. I would say the Western community especially is really, really bad with this, especially in America, with that kind of terminology. And they're like so obsessed with being, oh, I'm such a giga chad, I'm such a man because I don't like the color pink, or I think that, you know, if you like Haikyuu, you know, you're probably a gay lord or something like that. That kind of misogynistic or that kind of homophobic or that kind of like just toxic masculinity or that kind of insecure behavior is perpetuated everywhere. It's so much in the gaming community, and it's so annoying, which is why I was always keep preaching on this kind of stuff. We will never have an equal society unless men step up. And I know a lot of people don't like talking about this because it will scare people away from their communities, right? For example, I know in my community, I have a lot of people who, for example, this is a stereotype, but they're like meatheads. And what I mean by meatheads is like their favorite anime is going to be something like, it would be like Dragon Ball or Jujutsu Kaisen or Naruto or Bleach or whatever. And they just like violence because they've been raised to like violence. And they end up falling into communities who also like violence. And typically, if you're in a male-dominated community that likes violence, you're probably misogynistic and have that internalized. And your masculinity is very fragile. Like, if you're seen doing anything that is somewhat feminine, you're looked down upon. If you stand up for a woman, you're whipped, right? This kind of stuff is so cringe. I think it's so cringe, and I wish there were more guys who would stand up for equality. But as is the world, you know, when you have an oppressing force and the oppressed, the logic would dictate, why would the oppressor step down from a place of a higher position in society to help out the people who are being oppressed, right? You have to have that moral good within you to do that, and a lot of people don't see the benefit of doing that, which is why they will keep oppressing. And that applies to not only sexism and misogyny, it applies to everything, which is why within our community, I will always encourage people to step up for their fellow person, regardless of their sex, religion, belief, etc., sexuality, their ethnicity. Because, like, at the end of the day, when you're born into this world, you are not born into this world thinking, oh, I hate this person because of their sex. Oh, I hate this person because of their sexual orientation. Or I hate this person because of the color of their skin, right? That stuff is taught to you. So essentially, if you're thinking that you hate someone because of how they look or who they like, that's been taught to you. You've essentially been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed to learn hatred. If anything, this is going to sound weird. I want to brainwash. I want to teach people the language of love instead of the language of hatred. So that I ended up going on a bigger rant there. But that question comes from Sevi Plays. What do you wish there was more of in the gaming community space? And actually, Sevi, who is a Filipino content creator, has been on the receiving end of a lot of misogyny in her comments because she is a female theory crafter. She gets a ton of unnecessary hate just because she's a girl. They'll be like, oh, your opinion doesn't matter. And that's freaking cringe. That's freaking cringe. All right, we have question number 14. Question number 14 is from my wife, Nekopi. Would you still love me if I was a worm? So we've gone from a very serious question to a very interesting question. Would you still love me if I was a worm? Yes, Nekopi, my wife, I would still love you if you were a worm. If you were a pig, if you were a dragon, if you were a snake, I would still love you. I would still love you. Question number 15 comes from my cousin, Anthony Chen. Would you rather fight one Atsu-sized cockroach or 1,000 cockroach-sized Atsu? I would rather fight 1,000 cockroach-sized Atsus because I'm terrified of cockroaches. I'm not terrified of myself. I love myself. If I had to go up against 1,000 of myself that were cockroach-sized, I'm sure they would understand that it had to be done. I'm sure they would understand for the number one God King that it had to be done, that they have to be crushed in order for me. You know, they ran and they got crushed so that I could walk. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in the mini-me's. What is my all-time favorite JRPG? Asked Mr. Tengaman, Tenha TV. My all-time favorite JRPG is Tales of Symphonia. I really enjoyed that game. Very, very good. I highly recommend it to anyone that's into JRPGs. I also really like Final Fantasy 13. I like Final Fantasy 7 Remake as well. But Tales of Symphonia for me is the number one JRPG I've ever played. What is heavier, 1 kilogram of steel or 1 kilograms of feather? Asked TXJ So Cool. What is heavier is your mum. I'm just kidding. That is what I replied with on the actual tweet, and I just wanted to leave that in there. They are the same weight. It's a trick question, guys. Don't be baited by that. They're both 1 kilograms. Now, I know some people would be like, whoa, 1 kilogram of steel is surely heavier than 1 kilogram of feather, because steel is denser and it feels denser, but, you know, 1 kilogram of steel is probably going to be like that big. 1 kilogram of feathers is going to be like this big. So don't be debated. They're both 1 kilograms. That is not bad. I might roll that one in a bit as well. Question 18. Is there an anime that you wish you could relive the experience of watching it for the first time? Asked Micro Loser. And that is going to be Gintama. Gintama is my favorite. It's a very long series as well. So if I could rewatch that many episodes of absolute god tier humor, god tier action, god tier emotions, god tier everything, I'd be super happy. When I finished Gintama, I felt empty. And until I read Spy Family, you know, I didn't have this hole in my anime wound. It was permanently dented, right? The found family trope where non-blood related people come together and they form a family and they go on adventures, they go through hard times, they help each other grow, is one of my favorite tropes. Gintama does that better than anything. Spy Family does that amazingly well as well. So Gintama is, you know, it's my favorite anime, and I wish I could relive that experience. Also, the action scenes and the story itself is very epic. There is an overarching story. It is very long series. It's like 300 episodes. There is a storyline. It's not evident until like episode 13 that there is a storyline going on with an antagonist, and that gets lost in several episodes. So, you know, maybe every 30 episodes, you'll get like a serious arc that contributes slowly to the overarching story. I thought that was amazing in Gintama as well. Question 19 from Luna7. Also, I can't remember if I mentioned it, but question 12, what food no one would guess you would like, is from Shauna Scarlett. How do I cope with burnout is from Bung Bung 93. Which nation am I looking forward to is from You Nini. And we also got, is London a good place? It's from Kim D Grande 2. And then iHeart MM2 asked what my real age was. And then Croco Robin asked me about the college experience. So shout out to those people. We have question 19 from Luna7. Have I ever cheated? Have I ever cheated during an examination? And if yes, how many times? I've never cheated during an official exam, but mock exams... Let's say I cheated many times in mock exams. I was not a role model student. What I would say is cheating in exams really is not good, because when it comes to the real thing, you're going to get destroyed. You're going to get absolutely destroyed. And luckily, so what I used to have in like a lot of mock maths exams is I would end up like, and this wasn't just me, I went to an all-boys school, and let me tell you what, a lot of people cheated. And what would happen is one class would go into the exam, and, you know, they would have to take the bullet for everybody else, and they'll come out of the exam, and they'll tell everyone else, oh, we had a mock exam, and they used this paper from whatever year. And then everyone would go on and look up, like, oh, examination results or exam answers to this specific paper, and then we just memorize the answers, and essentially we were cheating, right? And with maths, because you have a guaranteed correct answer, you can cheat in maths. You can't really cheat in written subjects, because in written subjects it's down to the teacher. You can't cheat in those subjects, but when it came to stuff like maths and science, you could actually cheat, because it, in like answer sheets, it will tell you how to do the working out and what kind of working out they're looking for, and also what the actual answer is. Now, the thing is, right before my final actual legitimate exam, we had one mock exam paper, and the maths teachers were very smart about this. What they did is they made a custom mock exam paper which took questions from multiple different past exam papers. So you could not look up the answer scheme. So when I went into this exam, oh, this is not bad as well. When I went into the exam, that was the first time in my entire life I had ever gotten like a D or an E. I can't even remember. It was like a D or an E. And up till then, you know, I was cheating to make sure that I was studying properly and it was looking okay. And like all my exams, I was getting like low A's or high B's, and it didn't look suspicious. Right? It did not look suspicious, so I would always never no one would ever go for 100% when they were cheating, because that looks sus, right? So everyone would always go for like between 80% to like 92%. That was like the golden mark to make it look like you weren't cheating. So suddenly, when I went from like averaging between like 88% to 95%, all the way down to suddenly I got like 30%, my teacher was like, bro, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, oh man, I had just had a bad day. But that really gave me the kick up the backside I needed right before my official exams, because I was like, oh my god, I'm actually going to fail. Because throughout my whole year, I was not listening to anything in my class. I would fall asleep in my class. I was cheating non-stop. I didn't actually know anything. I didn't know basic maths. I didn't know anything. So within the final week or so, I was panicking and I was like, okay, I need to cram super hard. And luckily, you know, your boy came out with the A star. But I remember I was so terrified of, oh my god, I'm actually going to fail. And, you know, you can't cheat in the real exam. You can't look up the exam answers in the real exam. So don't cheat, guys. Don't cheat. Actually study, otherwise your life is going to be ruined and you're going to be embarrassed, especially if you're Asian or you have very high standards with your family. You're going to be embarrassed, and there's no feeling worse than that. You know, I would rather get beatings and lashings than have my parents be disappointed in me. And if that doesn't speak on emotional trauma, I don't know what does. But that's question number 19 from Luna7. So yes, I have cheated. Don't do it. It's not worth it in the long run. It will lead to a lot of pain and suffering. Question 20. Probably a basic question, but if Genshin did not exist, what game would you have focused on instead of as a content creator? Probably FIFA. FIFA, Call of Duty, Valorant, League of Legends, One Piece Treasure Cruise, Epic 7, another gacha game probably. So yeah, that's probably what I would have gone for. Thank you, Dal, for that question, Lady Talia. 21. Question number 21. We're almost done with the video, guys. How long is this video? It's already 40 minutes long. Jesus. Oh my god. 40 minutes long. I'm so sorry. Question number 21. Who does Jojo like more, you or Neko? Jojo prefers me more, infinitely more than Neko, unfortunately for Neko. How did you guys come to a decision to get cats? We both always wanted cats. We both love cats, so it was a no-brainer. Neko was the one that picked our cat. I didn't mind what cat we got, what breed we got. I didn't care if we adopted or we shopped. I know a lot of people do not like it when people shop, but honestly, I was not too fussed. Neko picked Jojo, which is why it's even worse that Jojo likes me way more than Neko, because Jojo is the one that was picked by Neko. And what was the naming process for our kitties? We both like Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, which is why Jojo ended up being called Josephine Joestar. And please keep smooching them as you answer the question for the video. Thank you, says Sunflower. Thank you very much, Sunflower. And yes, we will keep smooching Jojo as well. What's Jojo's stand? Jojo's stand is me. I am Jojo's stand. Zagodo Kingu. Alright, that's Jojo stand's name. Zagodo Kingu. So that is Josephine Joestar's stand. And question number 22. Oh, this is a deep question, and the final question on the video from Feta Biscotta Tadedelnov. I've mispronounced that. It is an Italian name. Feta Biscotta Tadedelnov. Tadeyanove. Okay, I'm sorry. But question number 22 is how to stop caring about other people's opinions. Now, I could do a whole separate video on how to teach self-love, give yourself confidence, because that is the key to stop damn it. That is the key to stop caring about other people's opinions. Now, the route that I took, which I don't necessarily recommend to everyone, but it is an effective route, because as you guys can tell, I don't really care too much about other people's opinions, unless it's something that is encroaching on offending like people I care about. But like if someone says something mean to me, like I don't really care if someone says something rude or mean to me. What I have, guys, is something we would call a god complex. Now, I joke about this all the time. Now, obviously, I don't have an actual god complex. I don't think I'm a god. But I'm very confident in myself. I'm very arrogant. And I'm very cocky. And, like, for me, I just look at it from a logical standpoint. If someone has a negative opinion of me, and, like, it's not rooted in any sort of logic, you know, it's something like, oh, they don't like me because I'm Asian. Or they don't like me because they're jealous of something I'm doing. Or if it's like an irrational reason for them to not like me, as opposed to like, oh, I accidentally kicked over their pet, now they hate me, right? That's a valid reason to hate me. Or if it's like an irrational reason that they don't like me, from a logical standpoint, I would ask myself, why would I expend the energy to care? Caring about someone else's opinions, whether people like it or not, in my belief, is a choice. When someone says something to you, you have the choice of reacting to it negatively or positively or just ignoring it. That is your choice. Like, if someone says something mean to you, you are the one that decides whether or not that's going to upset you. You are the one that ultimately decides whether or not you're going to let that affect you and ruin your day. And just from a logical standpoint, I have enough self-respect to not think of myself as stupid enough to let some meaningless words on the internet or something meaningless from someone else ruin my day. Now, this obviously comes with experience. If you get it all the time, eventually you might become numb to it. It's not as easy as it sounds, because you have to teach yourself to understand, like, if someone is looking down on you, or if someone has nothing to contribute positive to your life, and there's no rational reason for them to have negative opinions of you, then why are you giving them the power? You are actively giving them value, their opinion, their meaningless opinion, meaning. You are giving that opinion or that person of negativity, that source of negativity, power. You're giving them power, you're giving them value. That is your choice as well. And that might not be conscious for you yet. And this is the difference, is people who react instantly negatively, is they internalize that, and it's very subconscious. It's deeply rooted in their subconscious that they have no control over their essentially, they don't have any emotional control. They don't have the ability to choose between whether or not they allow that negativity to affect them. But once you get to a point of understanding, even just from a logical perspective, why would I give, like, an ant, not Anthony Chen, you know, because the way I see it is, if someone has that much negativity and hatred towards me and it's irrational, they're as important to me as an ant, right? Like, I don't care about their opinion. Probably nobody else cares about their opinion. So why am I giving it my time of day? Why am I giving them energy? Why am I giving them value? Why am I giving them meaning? Like, it's stupid of me to do that. And I would never want to do anything stupid like that that would damage my own mental or my emotional well-being. So you got to beat that mentality into you. You got to beat that mentality into you that anybody around you that is criticizing you when it's not rational, it's not constructive criticism, when they're just hating on you, when they're making fun of you or they're name calling, is a waste of your time. Do not make the subconscious or conscious choice to give that person power or meaning because they are inferior to you. Do not place yourself in a position of inferiority to that person. The only reason you would care about that person's opinion is because subconsciously you think you are inferior to them, or that their value, their opinion is more valuable than your own belief or self-love or whatever. Don't do that. You got to cut that nonsense out. And on that note, thank you very much for watching the video. I think that is the end. We have done all 22 questions. We have almost a 50-minute video, which is kind of insane. I do apologize that I was much slower than I anticipated in answering those questions. But yes, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much to... Beg your pardon. Thank you very much to Razor Gold for sponsoring today's video. Razor Gold have been the absolute biggest Giga Chad homies on this channel. So thank you very much to Razor Gold for sponsoring today's video and also today's stream. And yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you to my chat for being here throughout the video. 50 minutes of non-stop talking. I think you can hear it in my voice. My voice is slowly going. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will likely do more of these Q&As because they're very fun and interesting to do. And I feel like I get to connect with you guys more as well. So thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And Bye-bye.